Hello, Michael. How are you today?
Hi, Shannon. I'm hanging tough.
Is there anything in particular that you've taken a couple steps forward and a few steps back? Is there anything notable for yourself or?
Well, I'm a little concerned about my future as you know as I would be. I've started this program, and the more I sit in it, the more I'm really happy with it.
Yeah.
The more that I guess I can't be too happy because when I am, then I start to doubt not not the happiness, but doubt that I can actually do what needs to be done. So, again, that's me me sort of doubting on one side that I'm not really worthy of that kind of success or that kind of happiness, and on the other hand, not really capable of making things happen the way they should happen.
Yeah, so I'm hearing you say that you had reservations about starting this program, and the reservations were kind of in tandem with you feeling confident or you feeling like you have the capability to either complete this program or feel like this is something that, did you use the word deserving?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a strong word, deserving. Why do you feel like you might not be deserving of this success?
There's the concept of self-worth, and it's easy it's easy for me to question what I've earned and what I haven't earned. Yeah, and honestly, what I think I'm short of is time, and not in a sense of time to live, but time to get this done. The 4 years, four-ish years for coursework and maybe internship, I think it's quite doable. I can visualize that given my current job. I think I can do that and work.
Hmm.
Then there's the sort of practicum piece, and I'm not sure how much time that would add, to my progress, to the amount of time that I have to be here.
Hmm.
And then a residency. I'm not at all sure I know how to get that. I mean, I'm sure I could, but how to get that and do that while having enough flexibility to to maybe move. My partner's ready at any moment to move back to Thailand, where she's got little property, little house, and she's got strong feelings that I'm I should be ready to retire. But she's from Thailand, so people retire at 45 there.
Yeah.
And she's 54, so she's saying she's ready to retire. So it's basically like, let's go. The place is
Yeah.
ready when you're
Yeah.
ready. And so it's difficult for me when we talk in terms of timing, for me to suggest that, well, this could take me longer than is useful,
Mhm.
uh,
How
that
did those conversations usually go? Is there understanding or is there intention?
there's acceptance, there's love, understanding. I'm not sure. I mean, there's a couple different levels of understanding, but
Mhm.
she worked in higher education in Southeast Asia. It's
Mhm.
totally different, you know.
Yeah.
She taught college, but and in Thailand you can teach college if you're an excellent student and an excellent person, and you're 21. You know,
Different,
you could be
it's different,
an
yeah, different
assistant professor,
education.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I don't think she understands the logistics of a program like this, which, that has a sort of a healthcare base, and the whole idea of experience that's necessary, the internship experience,
Mhm.
practicum, and then residency. You know, I learned about residency by dealing with a lot of doctors and understanding. I
Mhm.
worked with a lot of residents, so I
Right.
could see it in their eyes. I watched the pain, and I could understand the amount of time that it took, and I could understand the reasoning behind it.
Mhm.
But she's from a culture where you kind of jump. When you're ready for the next thing, you jump in, and it's not like you take a few years to practice being a college teacher, right?
It sounds nice. It sounds nice to be able to jump into something when you decide that you want to do it.
Right? I like it.
You can see the differentiation between different cultures and,
Yeah.
different ways of entering a new career. How does it make you feel knowing that you have, quite a bit of time, um, and you feel like you're in a time constraint?
Well, I have time enough in life,
You do.
but and I it's the amount of time doesn't bother me. It's sort of the uncertainty
Hmm.
around the details, you
Hmm.
know. If I could map it all out for her in strict certain terms, then it would be easier for her to sort of understand. And then
Yeah.
we could plan around that.
Yeah.
But I think there's inherently some uncertainty built in
Hmm.
to the process, and to how, I never know how I'm going to interact with the process and make it take longer, or make it brief, or achieve what I need to achieve in certain time frames.
Do you feel like this type of work would tie into feeling a sense of purpose?
Yes, a sense of purpose that's sustainable.
That's sustainable. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not temporary, not necessarily context related. Yeah.
So what about when you finish school? What would your ideal life look like?
You mean when I'm finished with all of it?
Finished with, you could either be finished with your internship or in your residency or finished with your residency. What,
So many options.
so many
I
options.
gotta choose one, don't I?
What would your best self look like?
Oh,
And where would you be? Where would you be physically? Where do you think you would be emotionally? What would your best self look like once you finish this program and you're established?
well, let me leave the place and site to the
Mhm.
side for now. But I would be thrilled. You mentioned in another conversation, you mentioned contentment, and you know, I would I would be so satisfied
Mhm.
if I were able to do this work every day. This work, I mean lifting others up, and adding quality to life, and diminishing other people's suffering. As a good Buddhist, that's what we all want to do.
Yeah.
So I would be released from that which is preventing me from doing that actively and constantly. Yeah.
Right. That makes sense. So it would be a big accomplishment and it would be a relief to finally be able to practice something that you've been wanting and something you've been getting pretty great feedback on, and something that you've already been engaging in through mindfulness. techniques and teaching and
Well, I like you restating it for me that way. I appreciate that. Yeah. I'm not making notes of what I say, but I like what you said I say, or what you said I believe. Yeah, that it's a good picture. It sounds like satisfaction. Yeah, it sounds like something that I could do in my golden years, you know.
Mhm. Well, I think that we're coming towards the end of our session today. So I just wanted to thank you for sharing. Um, I just wanted to let you know that I'm happy for you and that you're accomplishing some exciting things. I'm excited that you feel like you're in the right place in this program and you're following your goals and you're achieving satisfaction in doing so. Um, I think it's difficult that we feel that you're under a time constraint, um, and that there might be some external pressure to move through this program and reach the next stage in your life so that you can accommodate maybe everyone's needs within your relationship, yourself and your partners. Um, I think that's a great point to maybe keep looking further into to see, how that would look like for everyone and how, it would look like to meet everyone's needs and so that, you're satisfied with your future choices as well as your partner being satisfied and, being in a place where maybe she's able to um, support and maybe understand why you're doing what you're doing. Um, So again, thank you for sharing. And I think that this is something we could, if you're interested, something that we could keep talking about.